So I'm gonna tell you what I'm actually gonna tell you what works for me and what has been working for people of wealth that I know, and these things are working for them. So we're talking about attraction, frequency, and vibration. Now, what is attraction? How did I come all the way from where I came from to a different city to meet a gentleman, and we were attracted? Our vibration connected because we were on the same frequency. He's on the frequency of creating something that's going to be huge, something that has to do with wealth. And I'm thinking the same thing because it's all about your thought patterns. I'm constantly thinking about, okay, I want to create generational wealth for my family. I need to take this path. How can I take this path? What can I do? What book do I need to read? And he has the same, he just has a natural ability of creating stuff out of his mind. I have a natural creative ability too. So that would attracted us to each other. I was actually going somewhere to see someone else. And he happened to be there. And we started talking. So that's not coincidence. That's something that was arranged. And I've been constantly meeting people like that. Matter of fact, my mentor, same thing happened. My wife, the same thing happened. So it's all about attraction and frequency. Once you operate with certain thoughts, these certain thoughts create a frequency or a vibration within you. If it's something that you're really adamant about, it creates a vibration in you that has to do with, it creates a certain frequency, a certain vibration. Now it's like a radio station. Now, radio station, you have AM and you have FM. Now, if you're on the AM frequency, you can't get in the FM frequency because you're on this frequency. So if you change the dial to FM, now you only get FM frequencies. You can't get back on the AM. An FM frequency can't communicate with an AM frequency. That's where you need to look at it. So if you have a poverty frequency over here and a wealth frequency, over here, the two they can't mesh because they can't communicate with each other. The communication is awkward. So, but if you got a wealth frequency here, and this guy here changes his frequency slowly and becomes a wealth frequency, at some point, those frequencies are going to come together and they're going to attract each other like a magnet. That's how it works. That's the best way I can explain it. So, your thoughts dictate your outcome and your desires. So your thoughts must, if you want a great outcome for your family or for anyone in your life, you need to have positive thoughts all the time. I have a philosophy that anything that happens to me is my fault, no matter what it is. If I get out and go in my car and somebody, 2 or 3 cars hit me, it's still my fault. You know why? Because I wasn't responsible enough to make sure my frequency was right before I left the house. The law of attraction, Napoleon Hill said the first thing you should do in the morning is get up and be thankful for being alive, for waking up, because some people didn't. So being thankful is an important part of mastering your mind. Read that book, Law of Attraction. It's a huge book, but at least start on it. Matter of fact, I still haven't finished, but I've gone through a lot of the principles because I started to understand them. Your mindset, this is the most powerful thing that we have. And we need to start using it, utilizing it the way it was meant to be utilized. We were not born to be poor and wanting for anything. We were born in this world to have abundance and wealth so we could share it with each other. That's why we are here. That is our purpose. If you approach life with that philosophy, things will come to you. Things will start happening to you. Even if something bad would happen to me, I'm like, okay, what can I get out of it? What can I learn from this and what can I get out of it? Your attitude needs to always be that. Your attitude, your positive attitude will cancel out negative 90% of the time. That's how powerful your thoughts are. So you must have positive thoughts at all times. That's one of the exercises. Wake up in the morning and be thankful. Do meditate. Or if you if you're in the church, pray. Drink some spring water. Now, when you're talking about when I got on this crusade to become a better person, I also got on a crusade to protect my temple. So other things that are blocking signals that can help you really become very attractive to money and to wealth is your eating habits. change the diet. When I changed myself, I changed my diet, and everything started happening because you can have, matter of fact, I think it's pretty hard to have a positive attitude and have a terrible diet. Those two just don't go together. The frequency is not there because your food has frequency in it. So if you're not eating food with the right frequency or right vibration, then something is off. That's why I eat healthy now. When I eat something bad, I know it because my body's saying, okay, you ain't used to that. You're not used to that. So be mindful of that. Frequency and traction, all this stuff works together. If you change your frequency, if you wake up every morning, be thankful, change your diet, do a little exercise, and another thing I'm going to tell you to do is, let me go, this has been up there long enough, so you understand attraction, frequency, and vibration. I hope I explained the frequency well enough, but like I said, everything is scientifically proven that everything has a vibration, and everything is connected. So your goal is to get a vibration or a frequency that is connected to something that's positive, something that has to do with wealth. So you should look at what the wealthy do and do what they do. Look at what the poor do and do the total opposite. That's how you change your frequency. Okay, now let's go over some more things here. Maybe lose my train of thought right there. Master your mind. This is how you master your mind. Now, first step of mastering your mind is be thankful every morning. Every morning, be thankful. Because, they said that how you start your day off is how the rest of your day is going to go. So first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is be thankful and be positive. Thankful and the rest of your day, 99.9% of the time, will go that way. So the start of your day is very important. Now, also your diet. You want to eat, and I hate my man Dr. Sebi is gone. If you don't know who Dr. Sebi is, look him up. Sebi. He's one of the greatest healers of all time. Well, not of all time, but of my time. And he's the only person to win a case against the FDA about treating cancer, AIDS, and all that stuff. He cured people. And it's a terrible thing that we're in a society now that's totally backwards and penalize you for helping people. But then that's a population problem, so that's another story. Your diet. So what you want to do is you want to eat what you call, like Dr. Sebi was saying, electric food. Electric food. Most food today don't have any nutrition in it. Nutrition, I equate nutrition and electricity as the same things. So, diet. So, first of all, you want to be thankful, your diet, and plenty of water. Spring water. That's what I drink. I drink spring water. Now, why am I telling you this? And we're talking about exercises for your mind, mastering your mind. This is how you master your mind. Your mind is part of your body. Your mind is organic. So in order to prepare it for wealth, it needs to be healthy as well. So you want to be thankful, you want to change your diet, and you want to drink spring water. You get away from the tap water or either alkaline water. Alkaline. I think that's how you spell it. Something like that. Alkaline water. That's the best water for you. And it depends on the brand you get as well. So just do your research, because research needs to be a part of your curriculum as well. Research everything. Research everything. Stop watching the news. Stop watching the news. The news is nothing more than a propaganda box designed to keep your frequency negative so that they can keep control of your mind. That's what the news is. The news is controlled by a group of people that want to keep you dumb. Look at the programs that are on TV. All they show is murder, murder, death. The goal is to keep you in fear. Fear is the one thing that has this world the way it is today. The answer to all the problems of the world is love. If we get everybody in the world to operate on that frequency, all those people that are creating all this negative energy, they will have to, either they will die off or something will happen to them. They know they have the power because they got control of the news and broadcasting outlets. These news and broadcasting outlets are intentionally broadcasting negative and fear and fear. Fear keeps you under control. It keeps you from achieving your goal. No matter what happens, don't be gripped by fear. Now, fear can play an important role in your life when you talk about your life being in danger. That's when the fear has its purpose. But other than that, you shouldn't be fearful of anything. You shouldn't even be fearful of death. I stopped fearing death a long time ago because I know if it's my time, it's my time. What can I do about it? But I also believe there are infinite universes. That's what I believe. If you ever go out and look up at the sky, you see all those stars, all those points of lights in the sky. All those are not just one entity. A lot of those are galaxies. I mean, entire galaxy, billions of stars in one little dot. How can we believe that we're the only one here and we're the only one who ever been here? But again, that's another story. Like I said, research. But stop watching the news because the news is the worst thing for your health, for your mindset, and it stops you from mastering your mind. And we need you to master your mind so you can create wealth and so we can grow together. I lost my train of thought. What was I about to talk about? Okay, we talked about mastering mind. We talked about the exercise. Okay, now also, a lot of people have ailments. Let's talk about, I'm going to run something by you. This is very important. And please hear me when I say this. I mean this with all sincerity. Those are killing more people than any wars that we ever had. Prescription drugs are nothing more than chemicals. I'm gonna tell you what they do. Everything that's needed for human health is within a plant here on the planet. And they know most of them already. But what they do is, the law says you cannot patent a plant. So what they do, they go find out what the plant is that help a certain element, and they go crunch it up and put it with some powder and make a pill out of it so they can sell it. Everything you need, you can get from the earth, no matter what your ailment is. No matter what your ailment is. AIDS, herpes, it doesn't matter. Because all those things are frequencies. They operate on frequencies. And what you do is you want to get the right food with the right frequency to counteract that disease. That's what Dr. Sebi and a lot of other natural healers that have been killed in the last 5 months were trying to tell everybody. But you don't hear that on the news. So that's why it's important to change your diet and get off your medicine. Now, this is how you get off your medicine. First thing I told you is changing your mindset. Everything I told you is going to help you to free yourself from prescription drugs, no matter what your ailment is. Now, there's also something called I lost my train of thought. It's going to come back to me though. Now, when we talk about frequency, we also talk about sound and music. The music you can listen to is vital. You know, a lot of wealthy people listen to a lot of string music and just smooth sounds when they're relaxing and reading their books, because those sounds are they say music soothes the savage beast. There's some truth to that. And your mind also grabs those frequencies and it can even repair DNA. And I'm going to prove it to you. There's something called Isochronic Tones. Isochronic Tones. And also by I think I'm spelling this right. Tones. Usually, if you look them up, you'll use it together. You can look them up on YouTube. Now, these are frequency tones that help your body to heal. For instance, every night I put on isochronic tones just to help me sleep and relax. While I'm working, I put on isochronic tones that have to do with clarity, focus, and mental thought. Same thing with binaural tones. These are techniques that have been around for thousands of years, but the doctor try to shove pills in your face because they can't make any money out there. This stuff is free on YouTube. So whatever ailment you have, let's say you have diabetes. If you have diabetes, put in isochronic tones for diabetes, or binaural tones for diabetes, or binaural tones for AIDS, or isochronic tone for AIDS. It's that serious and it's that powerful. This information alone is well worth, if you're suffering from one of the ailments I just mentioned, this information alone is worth way more than what you paid for this course. That's why I told you my goal is to give you value. If I don't give you any value, I will feel as if I've done you a disservice. A lot of people are sick, and this is not helping you. Your doctor is bound, and the only way he can make money is to prescribe drugs. That's how he makes a lot of money, because the pharmaceutical companies are paying him thousands and thousands of dollars to prescribe to so many people. Their goal is to have a lifelong patient. They don't want to cure you. There's no money in the cure. Okay, I got that. We're gonna keep going with this. But go to YouTube and look those up. If you have to, freeze the video and write them down. But like I said, you should be able to find them. And let's talk about this right here. All this is going to tie in. So my goal is to free your mind. You got to exercise your mind, and the way to exercise your mind is with the right and correct information. But to be fair, I do not want you to believe what I tell you. I want you to go research it and prove me wrong. Then that way, when you research and find something that's saying that I'm wrong, we can have that discussion. I love discussions. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know, and then I'll look at it and we'll research it together. How about that? I love research. Now, let's talk about cancer. In all the years since Nixon, he passed, Reagan and all the passed laws to put more money into cancer. Why is there not a cure for cancer? That actually, it's been a cure for a long time. And the cure is going to blow your mind. Let me tell you what the cure is. There are many cures, actually, but this is really a cure. A lot of people don't know what this is. A lot of people do know what that is. But I'm going to tell you what, a lot of people are confused about what this is. Let me tell you what this is a plant. And let me tell you what it looks like. It looks like one of these. It looks like a marijuana plant. And now, do you see where I'm headed? Marijuana was outlawed in 1947. The reason it was outlawed is because it looks like hemp. Hemp has been cultivated and used for thousands of years. And guess what hemp's been used for? Clothes, shoes, building materials, food, and cancer cures. Yes, cancer cures. That's what hemp is used for. There's literally 10,000 uses for hemp. Hemp can literally solve 80% of the problems in the world. It can solve hunger in desolate areas because it grows anywhere. You can make Ford made an entire car out of hemp. I mean, the tires, the body, the engine, and it ran off hemp fuel back in the 1950s. Why is that not news? Because certain industries will lose money. Also, building materials, clothing, beauty lotions, hair products. Everything could be made from this one plant. That's just how powerful it is. Like I said, my goal in this course is to give you value. And that's why this module is running so long, because there's a lot to share. But this is the cure for cancer. They would rather give you chemo and kill you than to give you the cure. That's how. And to think about it, that's why they don't want to legalize marijuana. That's why marijuana helps glaucoma and other things now. But marijuana has something that's called THC. That's the thing that they're really talking about, because it is a drug. It gets you a little high, but it never kills anybody. But if you give them that argument, they'll come up with some other. They'll direct it somewhere else. But this here does not have any THC. None. None at all. So that's why you don't never hear them mention that, because there's no way they can. There's nothing they can say to shoot it down. So they outlawed it. And you can't get to this because you got to go through this. You got to get rid of the laws for this before you can get that, because they look alike. But it's been scientifically proven that they're totally two different plants. But that's what it's all about. That's the truth about marijuana. It's not about it being a drug. If you look up the history on this, it's really interesting. Hertz, the newspaper man back in 1947, Ashlinger, he's a representative, and who's the narcotics guy? I don't recall, but look up the history on it. You'll see. But like I said, don't believe me, do the research. I want you to do the research. Now, like I said, I've given you a couple of exercises for your mind. That's how you exercise your mind. But the most important way to exercise your mind is reading. You want to read books on wealth and wealth creation. You want to get a financial education. That's how you feel. You want to get a financial education. Now that book I wrote about if I won the lottery, the steps I would take to create generational wealth. That book was basically about, like I said, the steps I would do, the things I would do to create generational wealth by sharing with my family, increasing their financial IQ, hiring people to train them, and the young people the more you train on financial literacy, the more money you get. That gives them incentive. But my uncles, my aunts, they've already lived their life, so my goal is to help them, give them whatever they want, help them to travel for the rest of their life. They'll be more travel outside the United States, hopefully. That way they can see another country. Because a lot of people, everyone needs to go outside the country to see how other people live. I got a chance to do that through the military. So that's another thing that really helped me to develop and become the man that I am today. Financial education. That's powerful. Now that book, it talks about financial education. There are a lot of horror stories about people who win millions and millions and millions of dollars. How do those people win 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 million dollars, wind up being broke in 5 years or either dead? The first thing is they let everybody know that they got the money. You got elements out there that will do anything for $200. Imagine what they're going to do for $50 million. Exactly. And there's been a lot of murders. See, because writing the book, I did a lot of research. There's a lot of horror stories because these people don't understand financial education. They think since they got all that money, it'll never run out. But what they don't realize is when you got that type of money, the rules are different. Even a bank, if you put money in the bank, they're going to find ways to stick fees to it to feed you to death. If you give it to the wrong financial advisor, they're going to steal it. It happens all the time. So you have to learn something about money. As a matter of fact, you don't want to have that type of money just sitting in the bank. You want to put it in investments. You want to put it somewhere where you can't get to it quick. And you want to put a buffer between you and the people that don't have anything. Now, but the reason I said, I wrote that book, I would share with everybody. The goal is to share with everybody at the same time. I was going to hire an arena and hire all my family, second cousins, friends, everybody I know, and give everybody something and videotape it. And of course, some people got to put stipulations on it. I was going to put stipulations on it. Then the older ones, I would tell, okay, who wants to help me to continue creating wealth in the family? Those people that volunteer for that, their supply of money is endless because they're helping me to create the wealth. But the ones who don't want to do nothing, so okay, X amount of dollars, sign this. I'm going to get a life insurance policy on you. So if anything happens, the money I get for you, I'm going to put it in the pot to share with the family. Mine will be structured, but financial literacy will be my main focus for everyone, because this is how you stop the poverty cycle. We're not educated enough. We're not educated on insurance, life insurance. A lot of people buy whole life insurance. Why not buy term and invest the difference in something else? Now, if you're an insurance agent, you got all kinds of reasons to tell me why that don't work, but I'm awake, so you can't tell me any different. Now, what was the next subject I want to talk about? Financial literacy. This is another way you feed your mind. But you need to get your wealth library. Your wealth library. Books, and more books. Read books on wealth. Read books on how to keep wealth. Read books on how to keep your money moving. Read books on not letting your money sit in one spot. Read books on investment. Invest in Bitcoin. Invest in hemp. We know eventually they can't keep hemp from coming because hemp is coming. Marijuana is going to get legalized everywhere. So open your mind to investments that are coming and go ahead and get ahead of the curve. Matter of fact, gold and silver may not be worth as much as you think it's going to be because of Bitcoin. So invest in companies that are going to deal with Bitcoin. Invest in new technologies. Invest in electric cars. These are the things I'm about to invest in because I know these things are going to be huge. Invest in financial education and videos like people that do what I'm doing. Coaching, mentorship. Because that's where the money is in this conceptual age. This is where we are. This is how the new wealth is going to be made. It's going to be made very quickly. I was doing real estate. I was trying to get a house on a contract so I can do all this and flip it to an investor so he can bring the money in. But I can create money here and be a buyer. People come to me because I'm buying the houses. Because that's my long-term goal, is to buy a lot of real estate. My money is not going to sit in the bank. Like I said, as long as your money sits there, the vultures are waiting to pounce on it. So, now, that's the end of this module. So the next module is going to be very short and brief, but it's about meeting my mentor and become a part of his virtual millionaire club, which is what I'm in. And I'm excited about it because there's money to be made, and his commission structure is ridiculously off the chain. I've never seen a commission structure like it. So make sure you build your wealth library because books are important to exercising your mind. That's the best exercise for your muscle. So keep exercising your muscles. Listen to your isochronic tones, and read books and change your diet, and you're on your way to creating wealth. Thanks.